And interneted. We're there.
We interwebbed?
We are live.
Nice.
Man.
Now I just gotta wait till it pops up on our end.
Yeah.
Oh, it's popping. It's popping all over the place.
I'm trying to
go.
use my light to where there's no glare on my glasses, but I'm blind, so I can't tell.
We're all so tiny anyway. I don't think anybody will notice.
Yeah.
I'll notice.
Fucking Thursday. I know you're a man. You don't notice anything.
What? You say something?
Huh? Yeah, men don't hear either.
Wait.
Huh?
No, when did you get here?
Huh?
Ben.
Damn, like that.
Long match. Come on, there we go.
I'm just doing some sharing. Which is
Hey, Dan. I'm using super duper long match today. I like playing with fire.
You're gonna wet the bed. You keep playing with matches.
doing some sharing.
Hey, Gregory. I got Bacardi and Bubbly. I wish I had whiskey on that.
I really like that bubbly stuff. It's good.
I like the blackberry one. That one is my favorite.
That one's really good. That's actually the only one I've tried so far, and I loved it.
Really? The mango one's good too.
It's phenomenal. I like them all.
Because you're a sugar-free type of guy.
That I am.
You like
you know?
that close. Close. Okay.
All right, Gregory drinking some whiskey tonight.
Oh my goodness. Yes. Thank you guys who are joining us so far tonight. We're gonna be talking about the Church of Wells later. It's not really a new church, but I don't think a whole lot of people talk about it.
Yeah, the earliest thing that I so far read was like 2011.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not an old church. But it does. Huh?
It's not real.
Okay. Blah, blah. Do we have any would you rather's tonight, darling?
Oh yeah.
I want to know what I have to pick now.
All right. So, would you rather death by these murder hornets or by bull ants? Which bull ants are extremely aggressive. They've got these massive fucking jaws. They inject venom and they have jaws. So that's terrifying, especially looking up close.
They're what do you call their little beaks? Mandible, or is that like a claw? Or is
the mandible is the claw?
Is that what it's called?
Wait.
Okay. Well, its little thing. It looks like huh?
Is it? Don't quote me. I don't know.
No, don't quote me either. That's why I'm asking. I don't know. I think that's what it's called.
No, you're a producer. Come on, type it in. Look it up.
I know, right?
I know the answer to this, but I just want to hear you guys guessing. I like it.
Whatever. But if you look at the little bull ant, like if he was not facing this way and that way, it almost looks like a pterodactyl beak or something.
Oh my god, I know.
I was looking at that. I was like, please don't bite me.
Insects are terrifying up close. Like
they are.
Like, oh no! But once you get like in their face, Jesus Christ! It's like that's what nightmares are made of.
Like Tremors, the big old sandworms come out.
Sandworm.
Nom 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 nom. Bacon. Yum 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 yum.
That's Kevin Bacon's best movie.
Kevin Bacon. Oh, we gotta do that to Kevin Bacon.
Oh, yes, we should.
Like pretty much any movie that you can name off, there's at least 6 or less people that he's connected to in any movie in Hollywood.
Jesus. Give me 1 second. You guys keep talking.
Come on, okay.
We got
Have you heard about that one?
I gotta say, I would probably definitely choose I would definitely choose Kevin Bacon over either of those bugs to bite me. I'm not even that big a Kevin Bacon fan.
Ew, I don't know. Both of those sound pretty fucking gnarly.
I think with the bull ants, it might be over quicker because there's so many of them all at once. But the hornets, I don't know. It's like one multiple, like, I don't know what this
Yeah.
is.
But it can, I mean,
you can.
that can fuck you up though. Ouch. That if they sting you enough, you could die.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Death by. Either
Oh, I got you. I'm like, huh?
death by the ants or the hornet. So if I'm gonna go, I'd rather be with the ants. So then it's like instant, and there's so many of them. They all inject you with venom. You probably die faster.
I'm just thinking about what it would feel like to try to smack one off of you.
Oh my god!
Like, can you imagine like a big ass murder wasp or whatever on you? How big that would, and you'd be like, I touch it! Oh my god!
Like with the murder ones, you're running for your life. Like with ants, you're just fucked. Like
Okay.
they swarm you.
I'll go with ants then. That's a good point. I'll go with ants.
Oh man, I guess I'm gonna go with the hornets, so they don't go hungry either. I suppose.
Aw, always thinking about the little guy, Miguel.
Yeah, I think that's only fair.
Fuck those things. They're gonna kill my little fluffy bumblebees. I like fat fluffy bumblebees.
Me too.
I love bumblebees.
W's.
Dash bee, dash boo-boosh. Oh my gosh. Do we get anybody else who had an answer?
I know someone
Oh,
did.
good.
I didn't catch it though fast enough.
All right, Richard says, okay, there we go.
There it is.
Richard says, if you think that murder wasp is bad, wait until man bear pig explosion in July. Be careful. Get your man bear pig vaccination now.
Oh yeah.
No, thank you.
No, thank you.
Jeez.
I don't need some weird chip inserted into my skin. I already have a phone pretty much in my hand all the time. Sometimes.
Yeah.
I only like chips when they go in my mouth.
I agree. I miss chips.
Probably cheese.
Cheese chips. Flashback.
Guys, I don't think
the whole box, pretty much.
Oh my god.
Sorry, guys. I love cheese.
you guys are not taking man bear pig super cereal. Come on, you guys take super cereal.
Cereal. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm gonna hit this, and then I'm gonna hit y'all with some strange news.
Oh yeah. Go show.
Yay! I did hear some stupid meme. They're like, oh, in May there's the murder hornets. Next month is the sodomy pandas. So be careful.
Oh well, hi. This is Thursday. Calm down.
It's gonna get worse. That sounds worse to me.
Hello,
my
everybody. Smell. Okay, that's good.
Okay, there we go.
I'm too to smell.
He's like, he does a Zoolander face while holding his cigar.
Oh my God. Is that a pen in your hand?
I have to have
All right, that's
something
another way to hold that.
when I talk to people because I'm like,
Oh no,
Gotcha.
it was just funny because you're like,
oh,
the pen. When you just had a toy in your hand earlier, like you could use that the pen. Oh my God.
oh
I don't know why that tickled me so much.
Shit. Look out for ninja crocodiles in June. Oh Jesus.
Also, from Gregory, the chainsaw wielding kamikaze bears. Those sound pretty dangerous.
Those are the worst. Those fuckers are gnarly. What's up, Moonshine Rob?
What up, Rob?
Rob. Okay. Y'all ready for some weird shit? Do 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 do. Okay, this one I think could maybe be a story later down the road because you need to really do some digging into a lot of shit, especially in the social media area. Can't really with the YouTube area right now because of the circumstances that happen with it. But this one happened just fairly recently, and there's this big conspiracy theory surrounding it, like crazy. It's Isaac Nappy. He was 42 years old, living in Arizona, and he was an actor. He didn't have a lot of big roles, but he was known for being in the Thor movies.
Okay.
Not like a huge role in Thor, but he was the one with like that curly hair. I don't know if you guys remember seeing Thor.
Miguel,
I definitely watched it. I just didn't pay attention.
Listen to other actors. I was there for Thor, not anything else. But anyway, after being an actor so long in Hollywood, for some reason or another, I'm not 100% sure, he decided to make it his mission to start outing these people in Hollywood who are pedophiles. And he went on live stream once and called out Corey Feldman and said, Steven Spielberg, Seth Green, and Tom Hanks, all pedophiles. Boom. I didn't need $10 million to be able to come out and say that, Corey Feldman. And
Seth Green.
Yeah. And that's one of the issues I always complain about too, is why do you need to have all this fucking money to save people? You're talking about trying to save people and you're not doing that. Anyway. But later on, TMZ had got a hold of some handwritten notes from him that he had sent to a friend because he was scared to go on social media and all this other stuff and try to talk to people or text or call or anything. And basically the note was saying, if I die, I'm not suicidal. You know what's going on. I put a lot of people's lives in danger. I'm stupid. I'm so sorry, this and that. Like, he kind of realized what he did, or at least it seemed like it. He realized what he did after he like opened his mouth, especially against Tom Hanks, because Tom Hanks had already has a female that has been blasting him online saying, I wonder how much my dad charged you for me when I was little. I wonder what I was worth to you and this and that. Yeah, and nobody really talks about that shit either. But anyway, after the TMZ, he came out with a video talking about, yeah, I did send those hand notes. I did, because something may happen to me. I don't know, this and that. Let's see, blah, blah, blah. He then posted a video online called the Dead Man Switch. And I guess the Dead Man Switch means something that can be put out against you that will have you just done. Like you're just done everywhere you're at. And he was going on about how that's how Hollywood works, is that, the higher up you are in Hollywood, supposedly the more corrupt and gross and immoral that you are. And he's like, cannibalism happens, pedophilia happens, all this other stuff, like just outing everything and everyone. And his very last video that he posted was over an hour long. It was a live stream. He didn't tell people what he did.
Sorry, guys. Sorry.
It's all right. It's okay. He wouldn't tell me
what was coming over.
Oh. He did.
Sorry.
That's okay. He wouldn't say what he did, and it was getting very frustrating. Like, I wouldn't even watch the whole fucking video because I'm like, you just need to fucking out it already. Mm-hmm. But he said he did something bad. Like, he said that he did something really bad. He got caught up in everything. Wouldn't really explain what or why. They asked. You can read his comments in his live stream. They're saying, "Are you suicidal?" And he goes, "Oh no, I'm not suicidal." And they're like, "Did you hurt a child?" He goes, "No, I did not hurt a child." He goes, "But I did something bad," and he wouldn't fucking say. Mm-hmm. Well, not that long after that, he supposedly jumped off of an overpass bridge, hit a Ford truck, and was killed.
Jumped off?
Yeah. That was there are some people who have done like their own conspiracy theory videos on it, and they actually were able to obtain the body cam footage from when the cops were there and his body like laying in the road with like a blanket on it. And I was watching it. I mean, he's blurred out, so it's not gruesome or anything like that. But they like the cops are going through like his pockets and everything, and he's got like mounds of credit cards. He's got his keys. He's got like all kinds of stuff in his pockets. Like people who go to commit suicide don't take that stuff with them. They leave all that shit. Like I'm like, I don't know. I don't want to be that asshole, but it's just very convenient. And so and I guess this happened last year. Around this time last year is when it happened, I believe. Is when he forced him, as the newspapers say, forced himself off of a bridge and jumped to his death.
Was forced off a bridge.
Yeah, he forced himself. He forced himself off a bridge. It was like, But no, he came out and he exposed a lot of people. He left like kind of, I want to say oh my God. Those suckers leave all the time when they go commit mass shootings. It starts with an M. Anyway, he left like this big long list of celebrities in Hollywood that he knows for a fact are pedophiles. He had Steven Tyler on there, Ben Affleck, Meryl Streep, Quentin Tarantino, all kinds of people on this list. After he passed, all the videos on his YouTube were wiped. And so there's absolutely no videos that you can find on YouTube that were his unless somebody had already uploaded them. But it's kind of a crazy conspiracy that's going on in his death and what he had done prior to forcing himself off a bridge. Very strange, very interesting. So,
and what was his name again?
Isaac Nappy, Kappy. But
he has a really big fro, right? Like,
yes.
Big. Mm-hmm. I didn't hear anything about this, like, in the slightest.
Really?
Yeah, that's mind-blowing. Is like, as soon as I saw this, I had to look it up. Like, I was like, because I literally have... This is all brand new to me. Not even that he died.
Right. So, well, I guess he choked out, what's her name? Michael Jackson, Paris Jackson. I guess he choked her out one night at a party for some reason or another.
Wow.
But I'm wondering, like, maybe he was so hell-bent on, like, getting who he thought were pedophiles. I mean, because I don't know if he could prove this shit or not legit, you know? So maybe he suspected that they were all pedophiles, and maybe he got mad at her one night because that shit goes around about Michael Jackson. It's like, I'm gonna choke you out, bitch. I don't know. But the last video he posted, like that last actual video, the one I was saying earlier called Dead Man Switch, that one got really fucking quick. It was only 15 seconds long, and it looks like, and it's really weird. It looks like a really nice, pretty Turkish bathhouse, and there's 4 little girls in the room, and they look like they're between maybe about 6 and 8 years old. 2 of them are wearing very nice little hot pink bathing suits, and they're like off in the back corner, like together, like they're doing something constructive, like not playing, like constructively doing something with purpose. And then there's 2 little girls in the foreground about the same age, and they're wearing like these little, like these little fringy bikini looking thingies, and they're carrying these water pitchers like back over to the thing, and they're filling them up, and they walk over to the middle of this little platform and they pour the water, and then they go back over and they like get more water, and they're just doing this. And one little girl walks up to the camera and like, look, I don't know if it's him, I don't know if he was holding the camera or it was something he got somewhere else. Like, that's one thing I haven't really been able to like really deep dig into, because it was just a strange news that I saw, and I got a little carried away. But yeah. So, and there are people online trying to say that it is called the Hotel Titanic Mardan Palace in Turkey. But when they pull up the pictures, you can tell that's a totally different fucking place. Like, shut the fuck up. You're stupid. Like, stop telling people that you look at them both side by side. Totally different looking fucking places. Stop telling people that's where that was taken at, because you don't know. Yeah. So we don't even know what the context of that video was either. So it's, a lot of conspiracy going around all over the place. Wasn't really talked about very much, like Miguel said, like didn't really even hear about it. And you would think that would be something everywhere. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, especially with the Harvey Weinstein and the Jeffrey Epstein and all that other shit. You think you would, and Kevin Spacey too, they kind of blew him under the rug real quick.
Oh, yeah. Because he came out as gay and then everything was fine.
Yeah, and then he did these weird fucking commercials and they just brushed it under the fucking rug and no more, it's done.
Yeah.
I think I found the video you're talking about, by the way. The dead man switch.
Yeah.
Do you guys wanted me to play it, or?
I mean, if it's not going to get us, flagged.
No, it doesn't show anything. It doesn't show anything. It doesn't show anything inappropriate.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Yeah.
Let me get this queued up then real quick.
Yeah, and I think it's only 15 seconds long, so it's not really that long.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it's 15 seconds exactly.
Okay.
Let's see.
But yeah, there's two little girls in the way farther back, and they look like they're doing something together. They're not playing or anything. I mean, I don't know. We don't know where this video came from. Don't know the context of what they're doing or anything. So
yeah, that's weird.
I don't know. I just think it's a very weird, strange story that has a lot of holes in it and a lot of weird shit going on in different levels. So
That's
the end.
That's off-putting. That's straight up like, oh my god.
Damn.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I need some
So
laughs.
Delaware, June of 1999, a neighbor to a 45-year-old man called, the cops regarding a really bad smell. They found the neighbor about 10 feet from an open young diamondback rattlesnake cage. Delaware Animal Rescue came and evacuated residents, that were in the vicinity of this apartment building, and they found 8 rattlesnakes, 2 cobras, and the 3-old-day corpse. So, yeah. No mention of other snakes, but they said they found, a total of 15, but they only mentioned the 10, so... Who knows? I don't know where the other ones were. They were. But yeah, this guy was he just had snakes in cages. He got bit one day, so fucking retard.
That's such a trope. Like, oh man, I got all these snakes. I'm so happy with oh my god, I'm bit. Oh, I don't feel so oh fuck, I'm done. And then they're dead. Oh my gosh.
What I don't understand is why?
Right?
Why all these venomous snakes? If you're not going to have them, the venom taken out or whatever.
I guess he's not getting more data on
research. Yeah, if you have them for science, then why?
Yeah, and if you're such a good researcher, hopefully you're better at handling them than that, because we're going to lose a lot of researchers that way. In fact, I wanted to bring this up because it's pretty now topic. The professor who was killed in an apparent murder-suicide pact, his name was right here, if I can find it. Gosh dang it. Bingley. They haven't identified the second man who was found dead in his car, but he shot and killed the professor, then killed himself. And apparently he was on a very close or a very big project involving COVID-19 right now. Mm-hmm. So that's very suspicious. But at the same time, I mean, the whole world's suspicious right now. So any death, really, they're going to look into it a little more, hopefully. And then on a sadder note, there was an elderly couple that was living in fear of this, and they thought they had it, and the husband decided to end both their lives instead of suffering.
Oh man!
Oh my god!
And then it just gets sadder right now because they had no symptoms whatsoever, and they did not have the virus when they tested their bodies. So,
see, I knew that was going to happen. The paranoia, like making people like, oh, I'm going to fucking die.
Well, there was that doctor last week. She was like, supposedly, because I'm sorry, I don't trust anything. Like, I really have to keep look. Even like the alternative media, I don't even trust that shit all the way. I gotta you have to look. But supposedly, I want to say it was last week. And if this actually happened, then holy shit, I honestly do feel sorry for the family and everything, what they must be going through. But this main doctor in New York, she had COVID. She recovered from it and she kept working, and then she just couldn't deal with having the pressure and the stress and everything from work, and she committed suicide from it. But she already had it. She told her lady she had already had it and already went through it, and she's like, it's all good, but just the pressure of everything and just having to do that every day. It's just like, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to do shit anymore. And it totally sucks. Hopefully it's not a made up story for propaganda. I don't mean to sound cold-hearted that way, but they have been proven to make shit up. So
yeah, because like we've mentioned before, hospitals get more money if they count more COVID deaths. So,
yeah.
They even came out and said it themselves.
Not a conspiracy, it's true. Like
because they even came out and fucking said it themselves, and it's just like. And nobody bats an eye at that shit. I don't understand, but I mean, whatever. Everybody live their life however the fuck they want to. As long as it doesn't affect me, I don't give a shit. So
I'm on board with that.
Thank you.
That actually reminds me too of a buddy of mine. He runs a cigar company on the East Coast. He used to be a foot doctor of all things, and it's like, nah, this is boring. I'm gonna get into cigars and coffee. But his brother-in-law and his brother are both doctors as well. One of them is in Florida, and he is a heart surgeon. The other one is in Honduras, his brother-in-law, and he works general practice for a hospital. And he is talking about how they are both overwhelmed and frankly afraid of what's going on right now because there's just so much happening and so much building on these poor doctors, whether or not it's all COVID related.
Right.
Such a stalemate they're put at, and it's like swimming upstream while not being allowed to use your hands, and they're just wading in the water. It's got to be really rough to be a doctor right now. No matter how much people want to like say, hey, we really appreciate what you do. They could throw all the money in the world at these guys. It's just not going to fix the problem.
Right. The crazy world we live in. Just like some of the crazy cults we have going on too.
Yeah.
Church of Wales, y'all.
So crazy. If anybody's ever heard of this church, it's in Wells, Texas. If any of our Texas friends especially, have heard of the church, please put the comments below because we want to know what you guys think about it. Or if you've ever been there or experienced anybody that's been from there, because it's not a very big church, but they seem to be having a very big impact on some people's lives and some families' lives.
Oh, yeah. Like the numbers, apparently, every interview I watched, the numbers keep growing. Like first it started at like 70, then up towards the 90s. And then the most recent, from what I've seen, was like the 200s already, these people.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy. It's growing so fast in just a couple of years, it seems like.
Do you guys want me to join and see what's all about?
What's that?
You guys want me to join and see what it's all about?
Oh, you want to participate this week?
You want me to join the cult? I'm saying it would be like a whole month-long adventure. Hello.
You're gonna participate in that shenanigans. You go have fun.
like a undercover investigation. Yeah, I think that would be interesting. Let's join some cults. Everyone pick one out of a hat.
I don't think white now.
I could do it. Dress up nice. I'll be fine.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, this church, it's crazy because this church apparently started in 2011 by 3 guys in their mid-20s.
red flag number one.
Yeah.
No.
Their response to that when being asked in interviews, you guys are so young. Because right now they're about maybe 33-ish. So they're like in their early 30s at this point. They were asked, you know, at the beginning, like, you know, don't you guys think you're kind of young for this? And they're like, well, biblically speaking, most prophets, because they claim that the one of the three, Jacob Gardner, is their prophet. And that, you know, lots of prophets in biblical books were all of very young age, which, I mean, if you kind of think about it, that's probably very true. That's very true. Life expectancy wasn't very long back then. There wasn't a lot of medicines and shit and sanitation and plumbing and food. Well, no, their food was probably better than ours. I'm not going to lie.
So fresh.
Yes, the fresh is so clean. No, I don't know about clean. Anyway.
Probably not clean, but fresh.
Yeah, probably not very clean. Probably why a lot of them died. Oh, Jesus. But, yeah, so, blah, blah, blah. Basically, like Dr. Phil's even done shows on this also. He's done a couple of them. A few people he's actually interviewed that came from the church. Like they were once very short-lived members, like maybe like a week or so. And they claim that, you know, they were drugged the whole time that they were there. They'd gone to the hospital and been tested. And they had like tranquilizers and sleeping pills and all kinds of shit to kind of keep them zombified, if you will.
Yeah.
To instruct them.
And basically this church, just so that everyone's kind of familiar, it's like they do preach, you know, Christianity. They are Christians per se.
Yeah.
However, from certain accounts from people that were interviewed, they say that basically, or, you know, people that have done research basically say it's a wrath-based religion. Like God doesn't show love really. Like he is an angry
Christian
guy.
revival kind of deal.
Yeah, it's like violence and all that.
Yeah.
That sounds very guys in their mid-20s.
Yeah. They probably
yeah.
couldn't get laid, and they're like, now we need to control and manipulate all these bitches.
Yeah, that makes sense because part of it is they don't treat women very well.
No, they do not.
No, they do. It's interesting.
I'm about to say, in all fairness, which religion does? Like, it kind of sucks. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I'm still happy being Catholic, but it doesn't mean that it's perfect. There's a lot of problems we got to fix.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God.
As long as you live your life, as long as you're a decent person, Miguel, that's all that matters. You know what's wrong and what's right in your heart. So,
but I just love the wrong thing so much.
Because they're so good.
Goddamn best.
One of the other founders, Sean Morris, wrote a book called The Doctrine of Justice. And in it says that you have to hate your old life. Like you have to completely despise and loathe your old life in order to know Jesus and be born again. And that you need to cut ties with all your family and friends from your past and all your worldly possessions, which makes sense because a lot of these people that their parents had actually gone and done interviews with, they even say like they left with like a little like just a little overnight bag. Like they didn't leave with anything. Like they just got up and left, and we never saw or heard from them again.
I like my shit. I don't want to do this. Never mind. I give up on going to join them. Plan over.
Right?
Yeah. Being drugged and giving up all my stuff is why would you even join in the first place? I'm not seeing the appeal. But a lot of these cults tend to pick on people who don't have a whole lot to begin with. So
they're manipulating people that are already Christians.
That's a good point. Yeah.
And then, you know, they do what most people in cults do, which they've mentioned before in, you know, interviews, the love bombing thing, where everyone in the community tells you how much they love you and like they're so happy that you're there, and then it makes you feel more into that than your previous life because nobody treated you like that at home. And so now all these people are fucking treating you like you're the best thing that ever happened, you know.
Exactly.
And that's so appealing to people that probably have low self-esteem, I assume. People that don't
nice.
feel like they have a purpose, maybe.
Yeah. They're getting something that they didn't think they had before.
Mm-hmm.
Because some people are loved and they just, for some reason, they just don't get it. You know what I mean? Like, some people just have to be reassured all the time. And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
you still got toilet paper, right? No.
I definitely get that feeling of like, sometimes when you're down and all of a sudden you just get all this niceness thrown at you, it's very intoxicating. It can be a powerful motivation.
I mean,
that's why he did that on his show so much.
Anyway, this actually reminds me of the beginnings to Children of God, right after the hippie movement, and when there was a lot of really broken people who didn't have much, who were feeling really left out all of a sudden. And the first, if you didn't know, the actual guy who started it was following his mom around, who's also a preacher. I cannot remember her name right now. He called her mama all the time because he's creepy. But she would see all these hippies and kind of like, I'm going to give them sandwiches. And she would give them peanut butter sandwiches and talk about God and tell them how great they were, even though nobody else was telling them that. They're just kids on the street, guys and girls who are like completely left alone. And it seems like how crazy, because that was back late 60s, early 70s. And they almost the exact same thing is happening in 2011, but just young gentlemen figuring it out, young guys, that you could do the same thing to people and basically trick them into being your followers.
That sucks. That really, really sucks, because you get people who are down and out emotionally and mentally, and you prey on that by showing them acts of kindness, and you're just tricking them. You're tricking them, and you're showing them that there are no good people in the world. Like, yeah, somebody did, you know what I mean? Like, that can really scar somebody later on. Like, that person gave me, it'd just be a fucking peanut butter sandwich. That person could have been down and out, no family, no nothing, on the streets, whatever. Hey, this person gave me it. That meant something to me. But now I can't trust any of that because that person had more nefarious, intentions than just the fucking being nice and giving me a peanut butter sandwich.
Yeah, that's why I don't go to church anymore. Me personally, that was my experience. People were treating me one way and then doing things behind my back another way. And I was like, if you're a real Christian and you're up high in the church and you're on the worship team and all this stuff, and you're treating my family this way, like, this doesn't show love, and I don't know, it's just being in that kind of environment. Like, I see how it's like, oh, everyone's just kissing each other's ass. Like,
yeah.
They're trying to prove who's the better Christian, and maybe not saying things like that, but from what I experienced, that's how it was.
Right.
I'm just not interested anymore.
And that's fine. Good. Because, oh man, people are crazy.
People are crazy.
There was an interview that I found on YouTube that was done about 6 years ago. It's kind of like very low quality, so you have to turn the volume way the fuck up, and then remember to turn it way the fuck down before you go to the next YouTube video, or you might miss your pants.
I hate that.
Jesus! Oh, but in this interview, it was with Jacob and Sean, because in this little community of Wells, it's a very small populated community. I think there's only 800 people there, and if 200 people, that's a quarter of the people of that community that are a part of that church. That's kind of crazy.
Don't like that.
Yeah. And a lot of the neighbors are very suspicious. They're like, dude, we don't know what the fuck they're doing over here. Like, they keep to themselves. They do this and that. But they own a lot of businesses in Wells. About 6 years ago, they owned in the interview, I got between 5 and 7 businesses. Because he started making the numbers higher and higher real quick, and then cut himself off. And it's like, well, wait a minute, huh? How many did you have? But well, it's not just the houses. That the interviewer asked, how did they manage to be able to own? Because they're in their mid to latest 20s at this time.
Yeah, they're young. And
they're super young.
Yeah.
And they popped up out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Like they just popped up one day. I don't even think they're from there. They just popped up one day and they took over an old church. But they asked, how did you manage to own? She said 4 or 5 businesses, I think. When you guys, through your church, how do you guys manage to do that? And he starts talking and he goes like, oh, 5, 6, 7, and then like kind of cuts himself off. And I'm like, so there's between 5 and 7 that you just admitted, not 4 or 5. You admitted there's more. And he said, she goes, how do you afford for all of this stuff? And he goes, well, we have deacons who deal with cardinal matters. He goes, I don't know. I'm not sure how that works. And then her next question was, okay. She goes, well, do you work? And he goes, yes. He goes, we work by spreading the word of God.
How are they making their money? Did they steal it from all the people that?
Yeah. Well, her next question was, well, how do you get paid? And he says, or she goes, do you get paid? And he goes, no, we don't make salary or a check, just offerings. He goes, we don't get tithings, like the communion basket or the basket.
Tithing.
We don't get any of that. It's just from the donations and the good hearts of these people. It's like, well, how did you end up owning? Because this is what they named off that they own in that community. They own a sawmill, a grocery store, a landscaping business, a logging business, a tree trimming business. I think they own a general store also. Like they own a lot of different shit through donations of people in an 800. There's only 800 people that live in this community, and a quarter of them go to your church. How are you buying all these businesses? That doesn't make sense. Something's happening.
Who are they selling to?
I'm sorry?
And also, who are they selling to? Because it's not a big town.
I'm wondering if maybe it's one of those drive-through towns, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to kind of get through it, like Barstow. You got to get through it to get to the next place. I don't know. I don't know that vicinity in that area, but I'm kind of assuming it might be one of those. Like, it's just a small shit-ass hole-in-wall town you've got to drive through to get to the next place you got to get to. Mm-hmm. And maybe they're just going off of people just coming in and out besides the rest of the people in their community as well.
I almost guarantee Delano's built on cults then. That's for sure.
That's where the Lords of Bakersfield migrated to.
Oh, yeah. Totally. Go to Delano. It's a new place. You can do whatever you want.
Right?
I got to say, that reminds me a lot of the beginnings to Jim Jones now. With People's Temple. Because when he first started out, he ran multiple restaurants, thrift stores, and I want to say old folks' homes. And while he was doing that, he was still doing his daily sermons. He was also very much hopped up on uppers, so whatever pills you get a hold of to help him work all the time. But it seems like a great way to keep your congregation stuck together is make them give you all their shit, keep it all, liquidate it, and then start some businesses, start your general.
It's sinful to have so much money.
Yeah, and then they have a job now working for you. You don't have to pay them as much because they're working for you. It's the Lord's work. So, you'll take care of them anyway.
Because you're supporting and keeping the congregation together.
Yeah. And honestly, I wouldn't mind it so much if they weren't drugging their employees / congregants.
I know.
That sounds pretty bad.
Wasteful as fuck.
Did you guys? Oh, I remember talking about it once. I didn't go too much into detail though. There was a preacher or a church that was he was arrested for drugging his congregation with ecstasy in the juice. And so he would drug them all with ecstasy, and they were Pentecostal, so praise Jesus. They would think that it's like the Holy Spirit, but it's the drugs, the ecstasy. So he would convince them, praise Jesus. Jesus. Convince them to give him more money. And he could have helped those people. You don't know. Like, there's old ladies in the congregation. He could have fucking given them, who knows? Who knows?
Great time. He gave them old bitches a great time. They can't walk, Lauren. Fuck. Let them have it.
Lauren, you might know this one from me. Who was those two comedians and the one drugged the other one at his house? Do you remember what I'm talking about? It was on Joe Rogan's podcast. Oh, gosh dang it. I think, Bert Kreischer got drugged by one of his buddies.
Oh yeah, Ari Shafir.
There we go. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'd rather him drug me than a priest.
I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't. So, Joe, there's comedians. They all hang out, and one comedian was overdoing another comedian's podcast, and he slipped like a Molly in his drink, and he didn't.
Oh my God!
And so, like an hour or like a half hour in the podcast, he was like freaking out. They never aired it, but yeah, he like totally drugged his friend, and his daughter was home. And his wife was home, and like, what if he was on like So what if something would have happened? Because he's on like blood pressure. He's on medication for like.
Oh shit! Fuck. Yeah, you can't party when you're on that shit.
Yeah.
You got to start pharmaceutical partying after that. No street shit. Oh man, no, but this place is crazy. There have been a lot of people questioning. Like, oh, if you're such a prophet, like, where are your miracles? Where are your predictions? What's this and that happening? And one of the things that I noticed after I watched the video that it stated that it was actually a Dr. Phil one, because you can watch little clips. And one of the families that he interviewed, their daughter was gone. Her daughter, husband, and her children were gone. So it was like that whole little piece of family like uprooted and went to this church and was gone. Wow. And they said out of nowhere, they got like a text message with a photo of a newborn baby. And it said, brought into the world by my husband's hands at this time, 8 pounds, so many ounces, this and that. And then a few days later, it's like all over the place that this baby in Wales died at the church. And what had happened was due to medical neglect after the baby died, I think 3 or 4 maybe days after it was born.
Oh fuck, I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, and they released a 911 video, or I'm sorry, not video, audio of the father of the baby calling 911 and said, yes, I need the sheriff out there. And they're like, what happened? And he goes, well, my baby just died. And she goes, how long ago did you notice this? And he goes, oh my God, I think he said at a specific time of the day. I'm not 100%, and she kind of paused and she goes, why did you wait so long to call? And he goes, well, we were praying. And what had happened was when this baby passed away, Jacob and everybody put the baby in a truck and drove around for 14 hours, stopping at several locations to pray on the baby in hopes that it would be resurrected. And then once it didn't happen, that's when they decided to call for medical help, once the baby was already done. And they said it was because it was God's will. That's why they did what they did.
Then why even call 911?
Why even call 911? Exactly.
Yeah.
Property
I mean, obviously, he probably asked for the sheriff because he knew, like, hey, we're probably going to need the sheriff because they're going to come anyway. Because that's
crazy.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
Oh my God. I've got no sympathy for people that do that kind of stuff. Anyone who hurts kids, basically. That's
children are animals. It's like, really, or people that are they've got cliques, you know what I mean? Like people that aren't mentally unstable, people who don't know any better, who are very innocent. And they do things like that.
You mess with me all the time. I'm very innocent.
No, you're not. That's a lie.
Oh, what was up with Katharine Grove? She escaped a couple times, but then kept going back to them. And as far as we know, she's still back in the church.
Yeah. Katharine Grove, she was 26 when she again up and left with nothing. She was living with her parents. I guess she was having a hard time with her parents. She was not getting along very well at the time, which happens. And so maybe that's a point where she didn't feel very loved or accepted in her home. and these guys were able to convince her to come to the church.
Yeah.
And she joined the church in 2013, so 2 years after they were open. So she's been there 7 years. So yeah, she's been there 7 years. Is that right? Yeah, 7 years. Because 2020.
Yeah.
2013. Yeah, 7 years.
Like, I don't know math.
I didn't. Quarantine makes me derm.
Why are you trying to make me do stuff? Yeah.
But yeah, no, she's been there for about 7 years. She attempted to escape 4 times. One of the times that she escaped, I think she got all the way out to the freeway, and then she was able to call for a police officer to come pick her up. And she goes, "I'm out in Wells." And
she had someone with her.
Oh, did she?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't read that.
That's what they said in the 911. In the 911 call, she said she had someone with her.
There was a video that I had seen, like a police body cam video, where she was on somebody's front porch with like a little bag. She had her jacket on, and the lady of the house is standing outside on the porch. She called the police because she went to the house like asking if she can get a ride somewhere, and the lady's like, "Stranger danger, I don't know you." And the cop came out and was like, and the cop was even like, "Hun, you're not in trouble. No one's mad at you. This lady, she just doesn't know you and she's uncomfortable, and that's why she called us, because we can do that for you. We can take you wherever you want or need to go." And she was just like, "I don't want to ride from you. No, I'm just going to go." And like, she gets up and takes off. Like, she just starts, he's like, "Okay, you're free to go. You're not in any trouble. You didn't do anything wrong." Like, very reassuring. And I was like, she's like, "Nope." And I think she maybe have went back after that point.
I think so too.
Yeah. And then there was, that was the one where she walked 10 miles, dude. She walked 10 miles from that house to the lady's house. 10 fucking miles.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Something I found weird about her, or not weird, just like kind of off, is that she sounded like a little girl. Like, she talked like she was super.
You're drugged up.
Yeah. And what I've noticed, people say that a lot of times that happens whenever you are sexually assaulted.
Oh, yeah.
So your brain, like, you still
shuts down a little bit.
Yeah. So you always sound like, kind of like you act out like the age that you were when it happened. So she sounds like really young, and maybe that's part of the reason why she was so vulnerable to this group.
Maybe, but there were I did see a lot, because I did start questioning, well, this doesn't really prove exactly how she was prior to going to this place, because they kept saying, "Oh, she's totally opposite how she was," and this and that, and then they show a clip of her. It looks like she's at a wedding or something out in a field or on some property, and she's singing in front of everybody. And her voice isn't super strong, like she's confident, but it's not super weak, like she's scared either. And when she's in these videos, because the Church of Wells has their own YouTube channel, and they do have like
videos.
Yeah, and
I'm gonna be binge watching that tonight.
Yeah, and they have a video of her, because this got so big. I mean, it went to Dr. Phil. It was all over their local news. It went to U.S. news, and like to the point where like MSNBC was interviewing Jacob Gardner about the church and what was going on. And I lost my train of thought because the Cardi just kicked in. I remember. Anyway, real quick. So they have like this video on there, because this got so big, of her explaining that she's not being held captive, that she's there of her own free will. But before she goes on in this video, there's a guy from the church, and he's speaking first, and he's pretty much like prepping you prior to her little her testimony, is that she's not a very eloquently spoken person.
I watched that one.
Yeah, okay, so you know what I'm talking about then.
Yeah.
Expecting everybody to believe that she's just slow and dumb. If you think about it, it's like, yeah, I would do that if I would want people to believe that the drugged up people here are just really slow and dumb, or they're just not very well spoken, or they're very shy, or whatever. Like, that makes perfect sense to do that shit. Sick bastard.
He was on fucking drugs, dude.
I think they all
He was
were.
like standing super stiff and oh, it's so weird.
Oh, at the very end of doing because I was trying to find extra stuff today because there was like some weird shit that I had heard, and I was like, fuck, I have to find this because this really got me a little bit too, because if this is true, this makes everything so much out there. Is that supposedly, oh my God, where are my notes? I can't believe this. Okay, there's supposedly an audio recording that somebody in the same room as him, they were having a discussion, and supposedly he said that he had been praying that another pastor would die and be out of his way. Weeks later, that same pastor died from electrocution while giving a baptism.
What?
So I didn't get enough chance to or enough time to try to find that and find something of that. But if that's true, or if there is enough to support it to possibly be true, that opens shit up way, way more than what is going on now.
Yeah.
Crazy.
That's
So we'll have to do an update on this one then, maybe a couple months down the road. See what kind of crazy. Yeah.
And these guys that have been especially the heads of the church, they've all been arrested for shit. They'll go in a gas station.
Multiple arrests for they were loitering at some point. They went into a store, and he kept telling the pregnant lady that she wasn't married and that she's gonna burn in hell. And it was like an auto parts store.
Mm-hmm, yes.
To leave, and he was just screaming at her and being crazy. They're just going around, running amok, harassing people.
Mm-hmm. And they're constantly getting the cops called on them because I guess there was a Christmas parade. They were yelling at people during a Christmas parade. Yeah. Yeah. They went to a pride parade and they were trying to educate people. And their excuse for why they were there was, oh, we were in a few of my fellow brothers and I were here in town for a wedding. And we just came down here to educate the people. And the girl goes, oh, so you looked it up to you saw this and just decided to come down. He goes, yeah, just to educate people on the word and tell, let them know the truth and this, that's no, you didn't. You targeted this shit. Just what's that one fucking Baptist church? Hillsboro? Westboro. Something borough. Burrow that shit. Burrow that shit to the ground. Yeah.
Wait, is that also in Texas? No, it's not, right?
I don't think so.
It's a southern state, though, isn't it? North Carolina or some shit?
Hold on.
Blends together a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, they're a super controversial church.
Yeah, screw those guys. I hate them.
Yeah. You know what? I haven't heard anything on them in a while, though, either. I wonder what's up with that.
I hope they're all COVIDed right now, so.
Maybe they're demonetized.
Oh, okay, they're in Kansas. That makes sense.
Kansas, okay.
What else do they have going on there?
The houses fly away and then,
tornado
take it away. Yeah.
Flying monkeys everywhere.
Red shoes.
Speaking of super old movies, real quick, what are we doing tomorrow night, guys?
Oh yeah, Attack of the Trailers.
The original Trimmer movie. No, just kidding.
Nice. I actually have the trailer queued up. If you guys wouldn't mind me playing it for a second, it's 1.5 minutes.
Okay.
All right, cool. I'll put that on real quick. Do my screen sharing business. Boop, boop, and come on. I booped. Turn on.
Universal Studios.
In the backwoods of the Everglades, the boys had only the woman to talk about.
Ooh, sexy lady.
I sure do, honey.
Whoa.
There you go.
Then, on step, again appears horrifying, mysterious creatures, thirsting for lovers' blood. What are these giant mutations whose attack on people sends the whole countryside on an endless search?
Whatever killed those people is still in that lake, and it's going to take more than dynamite to get it out.
And then brings them to life.
Oh, Godzilla.
Gratify their distorted desires.
Yeah.
That's so reminding me of Elvira's like movie Macabre on the weekends and shit.
Oh my god, that is gonna be so good. Oh god.
Should have watched Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. I don't even know if that one's free though.
Luckily, this one we can show you guys, no problem anywhere. And there's a bunch of other ones, so hopefully, if this goes well, we'll do it some more.
Yeah. So you guys make sure to grab your popcorn and grab your drinks. Take off your face masks and relax with us.
Also, please share as much as possible.
Yes, 100%.
And if you haven't already, we do have an Instagram and a YouTube under the same names. Please follow, subscribe, hit notification bell so you get more Girls, Gore, and Jean. Or sometimes McCarthy.
All right, guys, we are past our hour, and I cannot wait for tomorrow. Cannot wait.
Fucking time Nazi, Jesus.
Yeah, I'm just doing my job. Gosh.
Are you? Really?
Are you?
We love you, Miguel.
Yes. See how confident I am in that? All right, guys. Anything else before we go?
I'll make a special cool announcement tomorrow about next week's episode.
Yeah,
So
like
tune in to find out what it is.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
I don't even know. Guys. I don't think.
You know.
You know. Oh, you know.
Okay. I know. I don't know what fucking day it is, Miguel. I don't even think I'm supposed to be here right now.
It's got to be after May because it's already been my birthday, so it's sometime in May. We're in 2020 still. I know that much. All the days
when you go back to work, I'll kick Kevin Newsom in the nuts.
Boom. Let's do it. Just do it anyway.
That guy.
Fuck that guy. All right, guys. It's dark over here, and I am ready to check out. I will talk to y'all later.
All right. Good night, guys.
Goodbye.
Bye. Goodbye.